Nuns fret not at their convent's room, and hermits are contented with their cells, and students with their pensive citadels. Maids at the wheel, the weaver at his loom, sit blithe and happy. Bees that soar for bloom, high as the highest peak of Furness fells, will murmur by the hour in foxglove bells. In truth, the prison unto which we doom ourselves no prison is, and hence for me, in sundry moods, 'twas pastime to be bound within the sonnet's scanty plot of ground, pleased if some souls, for such their needs must be, who have felt the weight of too much liberty, should find brief solace there, as I have found. Scorn not the sonnet. Critic, you have frowned, mindless of its just honors. With this key, Shakespeare unlocked his heart. The melody of this small lute gave ease to Petrarch's wound. 1,000 times this pipe did Tasso sound. With it, Cayman's soothed an exile's grief. The sonnet glittered, a gay myrtle leaf, amid the cypress with which Dante crowned his visionary brow. A glowworm lamp, it cheered mild Spenser, called from fairyland to struggle through dark ways. And when a damp fell round the path of Milton, in his hand the thing became a trumpet, whence he blew soul-animating strains. Alas, too few. How clear, how keen, how marvelously bright the effluence from yon distant mountain's head, which, strewn with snow, smooth as the sky can shed, shines like another sun, on mortal sight uprisen, as if to check approaching night and all her twinkling stars. Who would now tread, if so he might, yon mountain's glittering head? Terrestrial, but a surface, by the flight of sad mortality's earth-sullying wing. Unswept, unstrained, nor shall the aerial powers dissolve that beauty destined to endure, white, radiant, spotless, exquisitely pure, through all vicissitudes, till genial spring has filled the laughing vales with welcome flowers. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature what is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours are gathered up like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. When haughty expectations prostrate lie, and grandeur crouches like a hidden thing, oft shall the lowly weak, till nature bring mature release, in fair society survive, and fortune's utmost anger try, like these frail snowdrops, that together cling and nod their helmets, smitten by the wing of many a furious whirl-blast sweeping by. Observe the faithful flowers. If small to great may lead the thoughts, thus struggling used to stand the Emathian phalanx, nobly obstinate, and so the bright immortal Theban band, whom onset, fiercely urged at Jove's command, might overwhelm, but could not separate. As leaves are to the tree whereon they grow and wither, every human generation is, to the being of a mighty nation, locked in our world's embrace through weal and woe. Thought that should teach the zealot to forgo rash schemes, to abjure all selfish agitation, and seek, through noiseless pain and moderation, the unblemished good they only can bestow. Alas, with most who weigh futurity against time present, passion holds the scales. Hence, equal ignorance of both prevails, and nations sink, or struggling to be free, are doomed to flounder on, like wounded whales tossed on the bosom of a stormy sea. Most sweet it is, with uplifted eyes, to pace the ground, if path be there or none, while a fair region round the traveller lies, which he forbears again to look upon. Pleased rather with some soft ideal scene, the work of fancy, or some happy tone of meditation, slipping in between the beauty coming and the beauty gone. If thought and love desert us, from that day let us break off all commerce with the muse. with thought and love companions of our way, whatever the senses take or may refuse. The mind's eternal heaven shall shed her dews upon the humblest lay. I am not one who much or oft delight to season my fireside with personal talk of friends who live within an easy walk, of neighbors daily, weekly in my sight, and for my chance acquaintance, sons, mothers, maidens withering on the stalk, these all wear out of me, like forms with chalk painted on rich men's floors for one feast night. Better than such discourse doth silence, long, long, barren silence, square with my desire, to sit without emotion, hope, or aim, in the loved presence of my cottage fire, and listen to the flapping of the flame, or kettle whispering its faint undersong. Yet life, you say, is life. We have seen and see, and yet with a living pleasure we describe, and fits of sprightly malice do but bribe the languid mind into activity. Sound sense and love itself, and mirth and glee are fostered by the comment and the jibe. Even if it be so, yet still among your tribe, our daily world's true worldlings, rank not me. Children are blessed and powerful. Their world lies more justly balanced, partly at their feet and part far from them. Sweetest melodies are those that are by distance made more sweet, whose mind is but the mind of his own eyes. He is a slave, the meanest we can meet. How sweet it is when Mother Fancy rocks the wayward brain to saunter through a wood. An old place full of many a lovely brood, tall trees, green arbors, and ground flowers in flocks, and wild rose tiptoe upon hawthorn stalks, like a bold girl who plays her agile pranks at wakes and fairs with wandering mountebanks, when she stands cresting the clown's head and masks the crowd beneath her. Verily, I think such a place, to me, is like a dream, or map of the whole world. Thoughts, link by link, enter through ears and eyesight with such gleam of all things, that at last, in fear, I shrink and leap at once from the delicious stream. Why art thou silent? Is thy love a plant of such weak fiber that the treacherous air of absence withers what was once so fair? Is there no debt to pay, no boon to grant? Yet have my thoughts for thee been vigilant, bound to thy service with unceasing care. The mind's least generous wish, a mendicant for naught but what thy happiness could spare. Speak! Though this soft, warm heart, once free to hold 1,000 tender pleasures, thine and mine, be left more desolate, more dreary cold than a forsaken bird's nest filled with snow mid its own bush of leafless eglantine. Speak, that my torturing doubts their end may know. Serving no haughty muse, my hands have here disposed some cultured flowerets, drawn from spots where they bloomed, singly or in scattered knots, each kind in several beds of one parterre, both to allure the casual loiterer, and that, so placed, my nurslings may requite studious regard with opportune delight, nor be unthanked unless I fondly err. But metaphor dismissed, and thanks apart, render farewell. My last words, let them be, if in this book fancy and truth agree, if simple nature, trained by careful art, through it have won a passage to thy heart, grant me thy love, I crave no other fee.